Welcome back to the deep dive. I want to start today by planting an image in your head. You know that specific feeling you get when you're watching a movie with a computer-generated character? Maybe the physics are technically correct. The lighting is rendering perfectly. The skin texture even has pores. But you look at it and the hair on the back of your neck just stands up. Your lizard brain screams, "This is not a human being."
The uncanny valley.
Exactly, the uncanny valley. It's that dip in emotional response where something looks almost human. But that tiny percentage of missing life makes it repulsive rather than, relatable. We usually talk about this in the context of robotics or Hollywood animation, but looking at the stack of research we're covering today, there is a massive, and I mean massive, uncanny valley in language learning.
Oh, absolutely. And I would argue it is actually more jarring in audio in conversation than it is visually. You can have someone speaking English with perfect syntax, flawless subject-verb agreement, and like a vocabulary that would beat me in Scrabble.
Right.
But they open their mouth and they sound simulated.
Simulated is the perfect word for it. It's that moment when a non-native speaker sounds like they've just stepped out of a time machine from 1890, or like they're reading a legal contract at a birthday party.
Yeah.
It's technically correct, but it feels wrong.
And that's the tragedy of it, right? Because these students spend years studying. They follow the rules. They get the A+. But the rules they are taught in traditional textbooks often prioritize correctness over connection. They prioritize rule following over actual human interaction.
That's the core distinction we're making today.
Yeah.
Accuracy versus authenticity. So we are doing a deep dive into a really extensive linguistic breakdown by Emily and David from the English podcast. They've isolated 25 specific phrases that are staples in apps and textbooks and classrooms worldwide that native speakers virtually never use in casual conversation.
And just to be clear before we jump in, these phrases aren't wrong in the grammatical sense. Your teacher wouldn't mark them with a red pen. You won't fail a test for using them.
But you might fail a social interaction.
But you might fail a social interaction, which is arguably worse.
I'd say it is. Much worse.
You'd argue it is much worse. Language is, at its core, about bridging a gap between two minds. It's about emotional transfer. If your language creates a barrier, even a barrier made of perfect grammar, it has failed its primary function.
So the mission for this deep dive is to help you unlearn the perfect English so you can start speaking real English. We're going to try to drag you out of the uncanny valley and help you sound like a person, not a program.
And the source material actually sets the stage with a personal story from David that I think really nails this feeling. It wasn't about him teaching English, surprisingly. It was about him learning Spanish.
Oh, I related to this story so hard. I took French for 6 years, and I still sound like a toddler reading a menu.
Yeah.
But David's story is about the afternoon greeting.
Right, so paint the scene. David is studying Spanish. He's got the textbook. He's diligent. He learns that the correct way to greet someone after 12 p.m. is buenas tardes.
Good afternoon. Sounds logical. It's polite. It's time accurate. It's what the book says.
It's what the book says. So he goes to Mexico. She walks into a little corner shop, sees the shopkeeper, and confidently projects buenas tardes.
Okay.
He's expecting a warm welcome. Instead, he said the reaction was pure confusion. People looked at him like he had two heads.
Because he sounded like a news anchor or something?
Or a visiting dignitary. Or a robot. He realized very quickly that everyone else, the locals, the real humans, just said buenas.
Buenas, yeah.
Or hola. By using the full formal phrase, he wasn't being polite. He was signaling, I'm an outsider. I am not one of you.
He was technically correct, but socially disastrous.
Exactly. And today, we're hunting for the English equivalents of buenas tardes. We are hunting for those phrases that flag you as an outsider.
Okay, so let's get into the list. Emily and David broke this down into categories, and the first one is greetings and responses. This is where the Victorian time traveler vibes really come in strong.
It really is the 19th century coming to haunt us, yeah.
Phrase number 1, how do you do?
Oh, wow. Just hearing it makes me want to straighten my posture.
To be honest, if I walked into the studio today, shook your hand, and said, how do you do?
Yeah.
What is your immediate assumption about me?
My assumption is that you are either wearing a monocle, you've just arrived from 1850s London, or you are being incredibly sarcastic. There is no middle ground.
It evokes pop hats. It evokes cobblestone streets and horse-drawn carriages.
For sure. It's strictly high register. And this is a concept we'll come back to a lot today. Register. In linguistics, register is the level of formality. is like the highest possible register.
Right.
It's what you say to the queen. If you use high register in a low register setting, like a coffee shop, a bar, or a Zoom call, you create distance. You are putting up a wall of formality between you and the other person.
So why do textbooks still teach it? Why is it on page 1 of so many English books?
I think it's just inertia, mostly. And safety. It is safer for a textbook to teach you to be too formal than too casual. They don't want you offending a CEO, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the result is that you sound stiff to 99% of the people you meet.
So what's the fix? If we delete "how do you do" from the hard drive, what replaces it?
Radical simplicity. Hi. Hey. Or if it's a first meeting, just nice to meet you. You don't need the flourish.
It's funny how we feel like we need to add more words to be respectful, but "hi" is actually more respectful of the other person's time.
It is.
It just cuts the fluff.
It's also more inviting. It lowers the barrier and says, we are equals. It's more democratic in a way.
Okay, phrase number 2. This is the response. I ask you, "how are you?" And the textbook robot says, "I am fine, thank you." And you.
Ugh, I can hear the synthesized voice runes that I am fine.
It's the cadence, right? It's the lack of rhythm that makes it sound so weird.
It's two things. First, it's the lack of contractions. This is a huge uncanny valley indicator. In real spoken English, we contract almost everything. We smush words together. We don't say I am, we say I'm.
Yeah.
When you separate them, I am fine, you are adding emphasis to your existence that doesn't need to be there. It sounds stiff and deliberate.
It sounds rehearsed, like you practiced it in the mirror.
Completely. And secondly, it's the emotional wall. I am fine, thank you, is a script. It shuts down the conversation. It doesn't invite a follow-up. It's a period at the end of a sentence.
So how does a native speaker actually answer, "how are you"?
We are lazy, efficient speakers. We chop off the subject and the verb. We just say, good, you, or not bad, you, pretty good.
Good. You constitutes an entire conversation in the U.S.
It does. And notice the punctuation in your voice. Good, it's upbeat. I am fine is neutral bordering on cold. Good implies life.
Okay, phrase number 3 helps you sound like royalty. You meet someone, you say, "it is a pleasure to meet you."
Are we in a Jane Austen novel? Mr. Darcy, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Again, is this wrong? No. But it feels heavy. It feels like I need to bow or curtsy.
It's the weight of it. Unless you are at a diplomatic gala or maybe you are meeting your partner's very strict parents for the first time, this is just, it's overkill. It feels performative.
Performative is a great word for it. It feels like you're acting the role of a polite person rather than being a person.
Exactly. The fix is just to dial it down. Nice to meet you. Great to meet you. If you want to show extra warmth, use your tone, not extra words. So nice to meet you. Acts much better than, it is a pleasure.
Okay, phrase number 4. This is for when you didn't hear someone. The textbook says, "pardon me."
Oh, that is very British, and specifically very upper-class British.
I feel like if I say "pardon me," I need to be holding a teacup with my pinky out.
In an American context, pardon me, can actually sound a bit confrontational or just confusedly formal, like you're judging the person for mumbling.
Yeah, it puts the spotlight on the error.
It does.
Americans are much more casual about errors.
Yeah.
We embrace the chaos. So what do we say instead?
Sorry, what was that? Or the slightly longer, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I didn't catch that is my go-to. It takes the blame, pardon me, feels like it puts the onus on the speaker to enunciate better.
Yeah, you're right. And what was that is probably the most common. It just keeps the flow moving. Pardon me. Stops the train to observe a formality.
Okay, last one in the greeting section, and this one is a fight I have with my grammar nerd friends constantly. Phrase number 5. I am doing well.
Ah, the battle of the adverb versus the adjective?
Right, because technically, if I ask, "how are you doing?" Doing is the verb, so you need an adverb to modify it. Well is the adverb. Good is an adjective. So I am doing well is grammatically perfect.
It is grammatically perfect. And if you say it, you sound like a substitute teacher trying to correct a student in the middle of a hallway.
So why do we hate it? Why does it sound so pedantic?
Because native speakers don't separate the state of being from the action of doing in this context. When I say I'm doing good, I'm describing my state. I feel good. Well feels clinical. I'm doing well. Sounds like you're recovering from surgery. How is the patient?
No.
He's doing well.
That's a great distinction. Well is about health or performance. Good is about the vibe.
Precisely. And if you insist on I am doing well, you are signaling that you care more about grammar rules than social norms. You're being a pedant, and nobody wants to have a beer with a pedant.
So just say, "I'm good."
I'm good. I'm doing good. It hurts the grammarians, but it heals the social bond.
I love that. Hurts the grammarians, heals the social bond. Okay, let's move to section 2. This is about requests. And this is tricky because when you're learning a language, you're terrified of being rude.
That fear drives people into the arms of overpoliteness. But there is a point where polite becomes weird or even suspicious.
Phrase number 6, you need a favor. The textbook says, could you please do me a favor?
This is the cold caller phrase.
It sounds like a telemarketer or someone who wants to borrow money.
Right, it implies a transactional relationship. If you say this to a friend, could you please do me a favor? It sounds like you are out to ask for something huge.
Yeah, like a kidney.
Like a kidney, or for them to help you bury a body. It creates suspense and distance.
It's too padded. It feels like you're softening the blow before you even land it.
Right. Padding is for strangers. Directness is for intimacy. That's a key rule. The closer you are to someone, the fewer politeness markers you need. If you use too many markers with a friend, you are pushing them away.
So instead of, could you please, just say,
can you do me a favor? Or just ask the thing, can you grab that for me? Hey, can you help me with this?
the hey does a lot of heavy lifting there. It softens the direct command, but keeps it casual.
It does. But could you please puts you in a subservient position. It changes the power dynamic in a way that feels unnatural for friends.
Speaking of subservient, phrase number 7 makes me laugh out loud. Would you be so kind as to...
Would you be so kind as to pass the salt?
I mean, who talks like that? Characters in Downton Abbey.
Servants talking to masters. That is literally the origin of that structure. It is self-abasement. I am so low and you are so high. Would you be so kind?
So if you use this in a modern office, asking a colleague for a report, you sound ridiculous.
You sound like you're mocking the person. If I said to you, would you be so kind as to hand me that pen? You'd assume I was making a joke about how lazy I am, or I was being sarcastic.
Right. It's sarcasm waiting to happen. Just say, pass the salt, please.
Or can you pass the salt? Simple. Direct.
Okay, phrases 8 and 9 are what Emily and David call the bureaucratic demands. Phrase 8, I would like to request. And phrase 9, I must ask you to.
These are excellent phrases if you are writing a formal letter of complaint to an airline.
Right.
Or if you are a lawyer writing a cease and desist.
I would like to request a refund. Perfect in an email.
Perfect in an email, terrible at a dinner party. I would like to request another slice of pizza.
It sounds like you're issuing a subpoena for the pizza.
And I must ask you to is even worse. That is conflict language. Bouncers say, I must ask you to leave. Police say, I must ask you to step out of the car.
It's an order disguised as a request. It has a velvet glove over an iron fist.
Exactly. In conversation, we don't request things. We want things or need things. I'd like a coffee. Can I get a coffee? I need you to help me.
Can I get is probably the most useful phrase in American English. Can I get a coffee? Can I get the check? Can I get a ride?
It's universal. I would like to request is just dead weight. It drags the sentence down with formality.
Okay, phrase number 10 covers the fancy inquiry. The phrase is, may I inquire about?
Inquire. That is the red flag word here.
It's a $5 word in a 10-cent conversation.
Inquire is for detectives or auctioneers. May I inquire about the provenance of this painting? It signals that the information is sensitive or formal. If you use it to ask about the time or the price of a muffin, you are mismatched.
May I inquire about the muffin? Creates a comedic effect. It sounds like the muffin is a suspect in a crime.
It does. Just use ask. Can I ask? Or better yet, just ask the question, how much is the muffin? You don't need a pre-announcement that you're about to ask a question.
That's a recurring theme here, isn't it? We preface things too much. I would like to request. May I inquire? Just say the thing.
Native speakers value efficiency. We want to get to the point. These textbook phrases are all about delaying the point. And that delay creates that robotic, processed feel.
Which leads us perfectly to section 3, expressing opinions. This is where the delay tactics really get out of hand.
Oh yeah, the academic filler section. This is where people sound like walking essays.
Phrase 11, in my opinion.
Now hold on, this isn't wrong. People say it. But the deep dive analysis points out something really interesting. It's redundant.
Because if I'm speaking, it's obviously my opinion.
Exactly. Unless you are citing a source or reading from a book, everything that comes out of your mouth is your opinion. Saying, in my opinion, the movie was good is legally the same as the movie was good.
It acts like a verbal tick. Or a shield, maybe.
It's a softener. It's a way of not committing full, in my opinion, protects you. But if you do it every sentence, you sound insecure. or just really repetitive.
So the key is to mix it up. I think. I feel like.
I feel like it's the modern champion. I feel like we should go. It's softer. It's more intuitive. In my opinion, sounds like you've written a thesis statement and you are now prepared to defend it.
Speaking of thesis statements, phrases 12 and 13 are brutal. I'm of the opinion that, and it is my belief that.
I am of the opinion that it is raining.
Why use 2 words when you can use 6?
This is the word count strategy. You know when you have to write a 500-word essay in school and you only have 300 words of ideas, you start using phrases like, I am of the opinion that to pad it out?
And when you use that in conversation, it just sounds pompous.
It's the smartest guy in the room syndrome. It creates a hierarchy. I am of the opinion. Sounds like you are delivering a judgment from a high court. In a casual chat about where to eat lunch, it kills the vibe. It sucks the air out of the room.
Phrase 14. I would like to suggest that.
The boardroom suggestion.
I would like to suggest that we get tacos.
Again, you're turning a fun idea into a formal motion. It puts you outside the group. I am suggesting to you. It creates a divide.
So how do you suggest tacos like a human?
Let's get tacos. How about tacos? What if we got tacos?
That's the key word. It's inclusive. It means let us. It puts everyone on the same team.
Exactly. I would like to suggest separates the speaker from the listener. Let's binds them together. It's collaborative.
Phrase 15. From my perspective.
The intellectual pose.
It feels like a debate tactic. From my perspective, the geopolitical situation.
It signals that you are about to say something contrary, or that you think you see something no one else sees. It can come off as condescending, like, from my perspective, up here in the clouds.
It's a more grounded way to say it.
Just say, the way I see it, or I see it as, or even to me. Simple. To me, it looks like it's humble. It's a contribution, not a proclamation.
Okay, we're moving into the deep end now. Section 4. Reactions. This is the real uncanny valley of emotion.
Oh yeah, this is where the robots really reveal themselves. Because reactions must carry emotional weight. If they don't, the conversation just dies.
Phrase 16. That is very interesting.
The kiss of death.
Why is it interesting, the kiss of death?
Because in English, that is interesting is often code for I am bored, or I don't understand, or I disagree, but I am too polite to say so.
It's a placeholder. It fills the silence without adding any value.
It is emotionally empty. If you tell me you just won the lottery and I say that is very interesting, I am a sociopath.
So how do we show actual interest?
We don't use full sentences. We use noises and exclamations. No way. Seriously. Get out. That's crazy.
Get out implies you are so shocked you can't believe it. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Implies you are taking notes for a lab report.
Exactly. You have to match the energy. If the energy is high, your reaction must be high. That is interesting. It's flatlining.
Phrases 17 and 18 are the cold comfort phrases. So 17, I'm very happy to hear that. And 18, that is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. That phrase just chills me to the bone.
Imagine you tell someone your dog died and they look you in the eye and say, that is unfortunate.
It sounds like a computer diagnosing a system error. Error 404. Dog not found. That is unfortunate. It lacks empathy. It is an observation of a fact, not a sharing of a feeling.
But that sucks implies a shared feeling.
That sucks is so powerful. I know learners are sometimes afraid of it because it sounds slangy or a little vulgar, but that sucks validates the pain. It gets down in the mud with the person. That is unfortunate. Stays clean and distant.
And what about I am very happy to hear that?
It sounds like a form letter from HR. We have received your application. I am very happy to hear that you are interested in our company. It's robotic.
So instead just say, that's great, awesome, so happy for you.
Warmth requires shorter, punchier words. Length creates cooling. The longer the sentence, the cooler the emotion.
Length creates cooling. That's a good rule of thumb. Phrase 19. I understand your point of view.
The conflict resolution bot.
This is what you say when you're trying not to get punched, right?
It's what a therapist says. I understand your point of view. It's sterile. And it misses a huge opportunity to use phrasal verbs.
Which textbooks hate, but real people love them.
Absolutely. So instead of understand, use get. I get it. I get where you're coming from. I see what you mean.
I get it is so much more connective. I understand your point of view.
Yeah.
Creates a separation between me and your view.
Yeah.
I get it, pulls it in and internalizes it.
Well said. Yeah.
Phrase 20.
I had a good question.
The stall tactic.
I feel like I hear this in Q&As all the time.
You do. And it's almost always a lie. It never means that question is high quality.
Ugh.
It means I don't know the answer and I need 5 seconds to download the data from my brain.
So if you use it in casual conversation, it sounds like you're performing.
It sounds like you're judging the conversation.
Yeah.
I rate your question a 9 out of 10.
Just be honest about the thinking process. Let me think. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. Narrate the struggle, don't rate the prompt. It makes you a participant, not a judge.
All right, we are in the home stretch, section 5, endings. This is how we say goodbye, and apparently we are making it weird right at the finish line.
You want the last impression to be warm, but these textbook endings often leave a weird, formal aftertaste, like shaking hands with a mannequin.
Phrase 21. It was nice talking to you.
Now, this isn't a crime. It's fine. It's polite, but it's fully formed. It was nice talking to you. Native speakers tend to chop the head off the sentence.
So just nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Good talking to you. We assume that it was. By dropping it, you make it breezier. You make it sound less like a final statement and more like a casual wave as you walk away.
Phrase 22. This is the one that screams, I learned English from reading business emails. The phrase is, I look forward to hearing from you.
Do not say this out loud, ever.
It's strictly written, isn't it?
It is exclusively email English. If you say this to my face, I look forward to hearing from you, I'm going to check you for a wire. It sounds like you are closing a deal or you're an undercover FBI agent.
So what is the spoken version?
Talk soon. See ya. Let me know.
Talk soon is the MVP. It implies a future without demanding it. I look forward to hearing from you. Puts pressure on me to contact you.
It does. It's heavy. And goodbye should be light.
Phrase 23. Please accept my apologies.
Oh my God. Are you a disgraced politician holding a press conference?
I have made mistakes. Please accept my apologies.
It's so dramatic. If you bump into someone on the subway, spill their coffee, and say, please accept my apologies, they might think you're crazy or mocking them.
It escalates the mistake into an incident with a capital I.
Exactly. A native speaker minimizes the mistake to reduce tension. My bad. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that.
My bad is the ultimate de-escalator. It takes ownership but shrugs it off at the same time.
Whereas, please accept my apologies demands a formal forgiveness process. It's exhausting for the other person.
Phrase 24. Thank you for your cooperation.
This gives me the creeps.
It sounds like the villain in a movie after he's robbed the bank and tied everyone up. Thank you for your cooperation.
Or a police officer. It implies that I didn't have a choice. Cooperation sounds like compliance.
So if a friend helps you move a couch and you say, thank you for your cooperation, you are being weirdly passive-aggressive.
You are. You're treating them like an employee or a suspect. Just say, thanks for the help. Thanks for helping. Gratitude, not compliance.
And finally, phrase 25. The customer service bot sign-off. Have a pleasant day.
Pleasant. That word again?
Why do textbooks love pleasant? It's everywhere.
It's a sanitized word. It's not great. It's not good. It's just pleasant. Mildly agreeable. No one uses it in real life unless they are reading a script.
Have a pleasant day. Sounds like a recording at a drive-thru.
It creates a wall of artificiality. It says, I'm pretending to care about your day.
So swap it out.
Have a nice day is fine. But the most common, the most natural native phrase, have a good one.
Have a good one. I use that 10 times a day.
It's versatile. It covers morning, noon, night. It's casual. It's the ultimate sign-off.
So we've gone through 25 phrases from how do you do to have a pleasant day. And if we look at this list as a whole, what is the big picture here?
The big picture is that perfect English. The English that gets you an A+ on the exam often creates a barrier. It signals formality. It signals distance. It signals artificiality.
It's like wearing a tuxedo to a pool party.
Yeah.
You look great, technically. You fit the definition of dressed, but you don't fit in. You can't swim. You can't relax.
Exactly. And if you want to swim, if you want to connect, you have to get messy. Real connection comes from casual language. It comes from using contractions like I'm instead of I am.
Right.
It comes from using phrasal verbs get instead of understand. And it comes from emotional shorthand. That sucks instead of that is unfortunate.
It's about prioritizing the human connection over the grammatical rules.
It's about moving out of that uncanny valley. You want to stop sounding like a simulation of a person and start sounding like a person.
So here's our challenge to you, the listener. The next time you are watching a movie, maybe a bad movie, or listening to a conversation with a non-native speaker, try to spot the textbook English.
Notice it. And pay attention to the temperature of the conversation. Notice how "I must ask you to leave" lowers the temperature to freezing, whereas "you gotta go" keeps it human, even if it's a conflict.
Once you start hearing the uncanny valley in language, you can't unhear it. And that awareness is really the first step to sounding like a local.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been, I won't say very interesting. I'll say this was awesome.
It was a blast.
Thanks for diving in with us. Have a good one.
See ya.